Can you hear me? And can you see me okay? Let me get my little thingamajigger here. Let me see what's going on. All right, well, you can see me. Let's move this a little bit so we're not super... Okay. This is what it really means. This is what all this really means. This is who we are, what we're doing. Things do not always work out. Yay! Okay, we are good to go. I am in another room. This is the private consultation room. I have two now. So this is the one that's across from where I do the live streaming. Hi, Deidre. Hi, Karen. So I thought I would be in a little bit of a different scenario. And I thought that that would be fun in a different room. Okay, I have a list. This is like questions that have been given to me, all these questions. So I highlighted a bunch. I checked off ones that we've already talked about. So if there's anything that you want to know, go ahead and ask the questions, but I am going to just go down the list of the questions that I already have and start answering those. So, happy Wednesday, everybody. How's it going? I've been doing all kinds of stuff, packing orders, doing the most. I got a ton of new accessories. So I'm putting together a bunch of like mystery bags and mystery boxes to make room. And I fitted someone for a topper today. Hi, Samantha. And it was, oh, she was so happy and she looked so great. So that was really awesome. Okay, so if you have any questions, pop them down below, but I'm just going to go through what I have here. So Catherine asked, how important is it we don't use regular hair products in our wigs? Can we use homemade sea salt in our synthetic wig? And would it work well? So I have a sort of compound answer to this. In the almost 10 years that I've been wearing wigs, I am not going to say that I haven't used, and when we say regular hair products like bio hair, products made for bio hair, I have definitely used those on my wigs. Now that I've tried way more products and like the products, hi Tracy, products that are specifically designed for synthetic fibers, I do see a difference in using those versus other things. Like for instance, the Tress products, those have like brush out formulas. They don't build up on the fibers as much, so they are going to, not cause any breakage, not cause buildup. You won't have to wash your wigs as much. I also find like stuff like the dual leave-in conditioner from Tress or the Renee Paris Revive spray. Those are designed for synthetic fibers, so they repair fibers. Like we wear wigs as hair, but they are fiber. So I have found you should use the products for whatever you're doing that's designed for the fiber type that you are using. And if it has any level of synthetic, you should try to use the products that are for synthetic. In terms of like homemade type stuff, I always shy away from that. That's like a personal, hi Tracy, that's a personal preference because I feel like Renee Paris, for instance, and even Tressler with the Tress like they're testing out these products on like a bunch of things to make sure that it works. So I feel like they've kind of already done that work for you. They've tested it out. And so I just, if you want to do homemade stuff, people do that. That's totally fine. But if you're asking like my opinion, I would go with the products that are designed for synthetic. And I feel like they do work the best. And there's a bunch of different products. So I feel like you don't need all the products either. Like you just need the product that's designed for the thing that for your goal, like what you're trying to achieve. If you want me to do maybe like a roundup video where I go through a bunch of different products and be like, this is what this product is for, just like sort of like a short roundup, I can do that. I'm going to make a note. Product roundup. What's it for? Best way to use. Okay. I put that down on my list. All right, so that's that one. Again, if you have any questions that you want. Okay, so Samantha said a short roundup. I can actually just record them as like short videos on each product, and then I can have my editor Joel, whose birthday's today. Happy birthday, Joel. I doubt he's watching me on his birthday, but I can have him then just edit it into one big video. So, I'm just making a note. All right, so I think that might be good. We'll start working on that. Okay, next. Next up, crossing off my list, my to-do list. Okay, next the one that I highlighted was someone asked anonymously, is it okay to store wigs in Ziploc bags if they don't have boxes? I have a bunch of videos on like storage. Yes, you can store them in Ziploc bags. I do have a bunch of videos and ones that I just put out. So I will, let me copy it into the chat because I just did a video on my new storage system. I think I have 2 parts out, although there's multiple parts. But this was part 1 of this series. And you can check that out. I'm putting it in the chat. But I would say the biggest thing about the Ziploc is to make sure that you put a little space so that there can be air, because it can like dry out your wig. And then the other thing you want to, no matter how you're storing it, you want to make sure that you put like some kind of either put the wig inside out. I actually like to stuff the wig so that you don't get any cold setting and you don't get like creases like in the lace or in the cap. So if you're going to do it in the Ziploc bags, still try to maintain the shape of the wig cap with either paper. You can be like creative. Some people like put paper in, but then they put like a dryer sheet in there, so that, you know, it smells good. You can do, I put silica packs in mine, just to avoid any like moisture or whatever. But I don't find that there's anything wrong with Ziplocs other than the fact that if it's like super airtight or if you pulled all the air out, you could just dry out the fibers, which you wouldn't want to do. So you do want some type of airflow. So yeah, so that's the answer to that question. Next up is Patricia H asks, how do you know when it's time to let an old wig go? I actually did a video on this. But now that I've done the video, I have more thoughts. And if you have thoughts or like contributions to this question, go ahead and put that down below. And I'm just gonna let people know we're live. I'd say that question has multiple layers, okay? So let's talk about when is it time to let a wig go because it's like not in good condition anymore. So that, hi doll, welcome. So I feel like, hi Jamie. I feel like when it's time to let a wig go, I think there's a couple different reasons. So the first reason you would want to let a wig go is the condition of the wig, okay? If the wig is torn, if it's worn to the point where it can't be repaired, if it's just lost its luster, like say you have like a curly wavy wig and it's just like the curls are weird, you're washing it, you're using different Revive things and it's just not coming back. If you have tears and rips in the lace and they really can't be like cut back or salvaged, then I feel like it's time to let the wig go. If you're washing the wig and you can't get it to like smell right, if it's just been so long that, also like the wear around the fasteners So like where the Velcro is, if sometimes after a while that Velcro like isn't working as much. So any of the sort of structural malfunctions where if the nape is just so matted that there's nothing you can do, then it's time to let that wig go. If you have some type of sentimental attachment, and if you've watched my declutters, I do keep wigs for sentimental reasons or because I can't get them again or what have you. But if I can, it's weird because in some way I may never wear it again, but it's different to me if I can't ever wear it again, if that makes sense. Um, so that would be the one category of it's time to let your wig go. The other category of it's time to let your wig go is if it can't be fixed, you don't want to fix it, or you've tried to like do stuff to it and you just like messed it up. Um, Samantha says, when it tangles has gotten so intense that it has aged the wig, it's time to let it go, let it go, let it go. Yeah. So that's sort of that category of either the condition or just like at this point, there's nothing you can do. I have a lot of people in the boutique that come in who have tried to customize a wig, and it's just, you know, they're cutting bangs, cutting into the point where now it's just it's not even that it's not salvageable for them, but that they just don't want to wear it anymore. It's not going to work for them anymore. I've had people try to customize a wig, like say it was curly and they flat ironed it and then they didn't like it, or it was straight and they tried to curl it and you know it's just not the same anymore. So I think it's time to let things go. If you've actually tried to customize a wig and you still won't wear it, it's time to let it go. Okay. Hi, Catherine. Tracy said, I saved the good tracks to make clip-in extensions. Oh, yes. Yeah, so we can talk about that, Tracy, like what to do with it afterwards. Um, and then there is a murky place of like sort of decluttering and thinning out your collection. And if you would have asked me like 5 years ago, I would have been like, well, if you haven't worn it in a year, you should get rid of it. I do not feel that way anymore. I kind of feel like, because I feel like you go through a cycle. Like back in the day, I was like anything, a cool tone, ashy blonde, as long as possible. That was what I wanted to wear. My tastes have changed a little bit. They changed a lot. However, um, I also feel like when I went to declutter my collection, or when I was like looking back at old videos of wigs I did get rid of, I regretted it because I do feel like we go in cycles. So sometimes I feel like maybe that like I haven't worn it in a year window is like too short. Um, but I personally keep wigs in my collection that either have some type of sentimental value, or are wigs that I cannot get again, especially if it's a unique color or a wig style that I really love and I can't get it again. It's discontinued and it's way discontinued and I can't get it. I keep them, or I keep ones that I wear regularly. And for me, regularly is like at least 5 times. Um, and then I declutter the rest. I am not as crazy about decluttering if it's a wig I do believe I can get again. But I'm not quick to necessarily declutter a wig that I actually like, but I just haven't worn, because I do feel like it will come back around. I also feel like if you just go through your collection regularly, you will declutter some, and then you might find ones to be like, oh, okay, like maybe I wasn't down with bangs and now I am, and I have these banged wigs and they're so great, and now I can like breathe life into them. Or it's been years, I'm not doing bangs, let me just get rid of that. So long story short, that's how I determine if when it's time to get rid of wig. And to go with what Tracy was saying, okay, so you're going to get rid of it. What do you do with it? Let's go into the category of it's worn, it's ripped, it's not functional for anyone, not just you for your preference, but it's not functional. Throw it out. Or keep one or two as practice wigs, to be practicing tools and styling and stuff on, practice and test products. Or like Tracy said, she actually cuts out the wefts so that she can put little clips on them and clip them in. You can do that too. People have done the thing where they've made a wig into a topper. I haven't personally done that. There's a lot of videos on it, so I'm not saying it can't be done, but I haven't personally done it. But I do keep wigs. I even keep wigs that are ripped if I feel it's a common way that a wig might be like ripped or torn, or like lace is torn, so that I can practice fixing them, so that either I can do a video or do it for my customers, and then I'm practicing on a wig that doesn't matter. So for me, I keep damaged wigs on purpose to practice, if that makes sense. The other thing you can do is donate. We have a Wig It Forward program, where we collect and donate wigs to the Cancer Center. You can send it to Wig It Forward, and that would be Tia Maria Wigs, Wig It Forward program, P.O. Box 170 in Edinburgh, PA 16412. We love getting donations. We are starting to send out donation letters now, so that you can use them for like your taxes or whatever. Yes, and Tracy said if you are into like dyeing wigs, yeah, so using ones to practice or test on. You can also donate wigs, some unconventional or not as commonly thought of places to donate wigs is your local high school or community theater for their programs. You can donate wigs to nursing homes. You can donate wigs to funeral homes. So yeah, you can always donate. What I did, especially when I was first doing the wig reviewing, is I bought, a bunch of wigs. It does get extremely expensive. That's the one thing people don't realize about wig reviewing. Even if you get PR, it's still really, really expensive to do. But what I did was, once I got like a bunch of wigs, I would sell them on Poshmark. Some people sell them on Mercari. Hi, Don W. And then what I would do is I would take that money that I would make from that wig, which I normally only wore that wig one time for the review. I would take that money that I made from that wig, and then that was the money I used to buy wigs to review. So that was how I kind of kept my budget for reviewing. And I just used the money so once I did an initial investment, then I was just basically recycling that money, and then that's how I would purchase other wigs, and I really tried to stay doing it that way. Okay, any questions? Does anybody have any of their questions, or I'll go on to my list? I think I answered that. I think I did. Oh, I'm wearing Feathered Bob by Tress in the above. It's long above. I'm not sure what that means. Doll. It's on, but my question is above. I don't see a long question. I just see it says it's Jamie. I don't see a long question. Sometimes it can show up on your side, but it doesn't show up on my side. Okay, so, this is Tress Feathered Bob in the color 2418T. So this person says, what is the advantage of a synthetic and human hair blend? So like the Envy hair or any of the synthetic human hair blend. Hi, Sabrina. I'm going to answer that in a minute, but I'm going to go ahead and answer Jamie's question first. How do you cut around the ear tabs so that it can be tucked behind the ears and it's not too bulky? When you say cut around the ear tabs, are you saying like cutting the lace around the ear tabs if you have a wig with lace, or cut the ear tabs to be customized to like your head shape and how your ears are? While I'm waiting for that, this might be one that I actually do a video on so that I can do a demonstration, but I want to get clear what you're asking. Okay, so it's funny. I actually have to customize a wig for a customer tomorrow, and I do have to cut around the ears. So I am going to be filming that tomorrow, so I will just make sure that we get that edited, and so I'm actually going to be doing that customization, okay? So just keep your eye out. I'll make sure that I get it edited sooner rather than later. But I'm going to be doing that for someone that needs their wig customized because it's just too big for her head. Look at that. That's crazy. Okay, so what is the advantage of a synthetic and human hair blend? Advantage. I'm not going to say that it's like an advantage. I want to say, Angie, I see you, and I'll answer that. I want to say that it's a preference thing, or like a pros and cons. So I find that most, not all, most of the synthetic human hair blends tend to be lower density. And I know that that's one thing for people, that's like a thing that they, have issues with, is that they feel like the wig is too full, which you can thin it or have it thinned. I do offer that service. I actually just did 3 this week. But I do find, in general, again, not always, but in general, these human hair blends do tend to be lower density. They do have sort of that human hair heat safe synthetic mix. In theory, they will last a little bit longer than a 100% synthetic, but they're not going to last as long as human hair. And when I say last as long, I just mean the fiber itself. I'm seeing this so much more. Having this like in-person boutique is like opening my eyes to a lot of things that I just never thought to talk about before. But there is this thing that like human hair wigs last forever. I'm not saying they don't last a long time, or they can't last a long time, or they shouldn't last a long time. But what I'm seeing is that people are coming in and they're like, oh, my human hair wig isn't lasting. It's not even like the hair. It's the structure, the actual construction part. I don't care if you have human hair, this, that, or the other. If you're rough with your lace, if you rip your lace, if you're using the Velcro a lot and it starts to get weak, that's just going to happen. That has nothing to do with whether it's human hair, synthetic, blend, whatever. So I think people just put it in a big thing like, oh, a blend will last longer. The fibers, yes, will last longer. But I find that it's the user error or the maintenance or the way that you're wearing your wigs and how rough or not you are with them is less to do with the fiber and more the construction of the actual wig. And I see so much like lace tearing, or like, with styling and restyling and styling starting to get like bald spots in the lace. So that's something I feel like I should do a video on that too, and just be like, listen, it's not indestructible. And if you're rough with your wigs, I don't care what they are, they're not going to last longer. I'd say the other benefit is that sometimes it can feel better than just like a synthetic or a heat safe synthetic. Although the synthetics are like really starting to, like with the Tress realistic fibers, the fibers are just getting crazy. A lot of the new stuff coming out of Renee Paris, like the Muse line, those fibers are feeling awesome. Even the Vivica Fox, those fibers, something's changed up on those and they're starting to feel better. So I would just say, if you want it to last longer than your synthetic, I would go ahead and try a blend. Just remember, you still have to do all the maintenance stuff. You just have to do the maintenance stuff. Angie says, I have trouble with some wigs clumping. Have you heard of thinning a wig as a way to deter clumping? Yes, I actually have videos on this method. I do feel like it can work. I also feel that using, especially in the back at the nape, using the dual leave-in conditioner. I'm gonna put the video in the chat for you. Using the dual leave-in conditioner is a good way to, it may not tangle, but with using the dual leave-in conditioner, the tangles come out much easier and they're not as clumpy. Yeah, I did this one where I talked about like it never tangling again. Oh, maybe that's what it is. I have so many videos. I'm gonna go through like all my videos, and oh, here it is. It's called the Tangle Free Method, the Truth. And I go in there and and do everything. I do this method on a lot of people's wigs though. Copy the link. But I am going to go through and like redo like my playlists and stuff. Oh, are they heat safe fibers or non-heat safe fibers? Because Angie, I think I have a bunch of questions from you on here, and I'm going to do a full video on that. Just let me know if they're heat safe or non-heat safe. Because I'm doing a full video about that. Heat safe, yes. So I'm doing a full, like a long, detailed video about heat safe, pros, cons, what to do, how to fix, all the things. Like, and I've been working on it for a while, so it's going to be pretty detailed. So that will be answered, and I'm going to do full demonstrations and everything. Because I actually have a lot of questions about that. So, and then it's just a lot easier for me to record it and show it to you, and then you know what I mean, than me just like saying it. That's on my list, and it's on my priority list, Angie. So, okay, next, what time do we got? It's nice out, so we're going to be going on a little walkie walk. Okay. Yeah, literally all these are all about heat safe. All different people asking heat safe. So I was like, let me just do one huge comprehensive video. It'll have little chapters. You'll be able to go through it. So this person's asking about non-heat safe. They said, what is the best way to restore a non-heat safe, it said non-friendly heat, non-heat friendly synthetic? I don't have the Renee Paris hot tool. I've tried the bamboo silicone, but I found out the hard way that I'm allergic to it, and everyone says to use that. Okay, so I always say use the least intrusive method first. So how to restore regular synthetic that is not heat safe. I'd say the first tier is to use either the Renee of Paris Revive Spray or the dual leave-in conditioner from Tress. Okay, try the sprays, detangle it through, and see if that helps first. If you still feel like that has not helped, or it's just not done enough, then I would say the next level would be doing where you would do any like soaking, or using like, there's a Renee of Paris conditioner that you can use and soak. People do use the bamboo silicone. I have too. I don't know if I have an old video on this or not. My one thing is that you can 100% use too much. You can use too much. And for this person, they're saying they're also allergic to it. So you can use those, but just be careful. You could have an allergy to it, but also I had used it in the beginning, and I mean, I was like slapping it in there. It's just, you can use way too much. And then I felt like the wig was greasy, and I could just like never get it rinsed out. So I would say dual leave-in conditioner, Renee Paris Revive Spray, then using synthetic conditioners, soak those, use those, try your silicone, just make sure you don't use too much. And then you can use ways like, then I would say to use either steam or the Renee Paris hot tool, which is made for the non-heat safe synthetics. If you have non-heat safe synthetic, I really do believe, and I honestly believe, you can watch my videos, I believe that you should have the Renee Paris hot tool. It works so well. It works so well in conjunction with that dual leave-in conditioner. It works so well in conjunction with the Revive Spray. And it's so easy, especially like on the ends. And that's usually where it gets real weird. And you can use it on your heat safe too. I feel like it's an investment. If you're a regular wig wearer, then it is an investment that you should make. I have in the past used a steamer. I do still use it occasionally. So you can use that method too. There is a little learning curve to that. I think that the Renee Paris hot tool has less of a learning curve too. So that's always a good thing. But that's what I'm saying. Your top your topical sprays, your deep conditioning, and then using tools that are safe for non-heat safe synthetics. That's how I would do it to repair. Does that make sense to everybody? I don't know why. Listen, I'm getting real sassy all of a sudden. Okay, so next question is, what is the, oh, I already answered that. What's the advantage of the Tia? All right. Monica W says, is there a way to change a wig's color? And then someone asked, I think, another question about dyeing a wig. I have a jillion videos on my channel about wig dyeing, toning. Okay, so this is the long and short of it. I have dyed, toned, did all the things to probably 100 wigs. You, first and foremost, the dyeing methods that I find that work the most do require the wig to be heat safe, okay? And so, and I'll put in at least one. I have a whole thing. Well, punk, Rit dye. Can you say that again? I just want to make sure I understand what you're saying. Tia Maria toning or dyeing a wig. I have so many dyeing videos. I have so many. I'm just putting one in the chat, but I literally have so many. She said I did it one time over it. So the thing about it is that the best way is to use a method where you're using Rit dye more, and it has to be synthetic dye more, because there is like the Rit dye and then there's the Rit synthetic. You have to use that. You can only dye a wig that is in an absence of color, meaning like your 613s or a wig that has 613 highlights, but all of the other color will not dye. So if you, I hear people like, can I like lighten up my synthetic wig? No, you cannot dye. It's already dyed. It's already done. If you get anything that's in that sort of 613 color, but any wig like even this dark and down to your like platinums, you can tone that. That's different. I've also dyed so many wigs, so many 613 wigs that I dyed. I should start doing that again. I have found, because I have done this a lot, you also can't control the color as like you would like if you're dyeing your hair. So I've tried to dye wigs pink. Sometimes they're really pink, sometimes they're not, sometimes they're like a kind of blushy tone. That's the one thing, is that you can't be like, oh, I'm going to dye this hot pink and it's going to be hot pink. It doesn't always work out that way. If you don't do it right and let the dye set and all that, like it will still come out for quite a while. Like it'll still rinse out. When you dye a wig, it does dye everything, including the cap, which means including all the seams and sometimes the lace and everything like that. So can you dye a wig? Can you change its color? Yes, but not in the way that people think. I do think, though, one way to shift a wig, if you really want to, is this. You can add a root. Adding rooting to a wig really can change its look. So you can consider doing that. The other thing is to consider either sewing in or using like clip-in extensions to like either add highlights or a pop of color. So you can do that as well. But overall, like if you have a brown wig, you cannot dye it. Angie, let me make sure I've answered this question and then I'll answer that. Okay, yeah, this is something else. So Angie asks, when I get a new wig and I comb it out, shake it out, it looks so full and beautiful, but after wearing it, they flatten back out. I love that just shaken out look. Is there any way to keep that? I mean, shake it out, shake it out again. I have been playing with, and I did a video on this. I've been playing and testing the Envy Get Dress spray, and I don't know if I have, pictures. Oh, I think I do. I have pictures on my, and I did a wear test of it. I feel like that gave me that sort of shaken out look. So the Envy Get Dress Spray, let me get my glasses and I'm going to share this picture because I did a full day wear test on this. So, this was me wearing it, and this was the, with the Get Dressed spray. So this it more laid down flatter before. See, this is how it's looking. And then, so there's no volume or anything. This was me like later in the day. So I'd say the Get Dressed spray would maybe do that if you haven't tried that, if you like that just shaken out, because I filmed this in the morning. Okay, so I filmed this at 11:30 a.m., the original one, and then the other one was taken at 4 o'clock, and it was still looking like this. And when I went like this, it kind of did that. So, I'm sorry, Angie. I was like not thinking clearly. I would say the Get Dressed spray is what would achieve what you're looking for. I feel like someone tried to open the door. We're closed. Do you want one of the Get Dressed sprays? I can put it in the back for you. It's sitting here. Like, I had gotten it and I had used it, but I didn't test it. So, I love to like actually test stuff out and really say like people do reviews on it, and it's not that I don't believe them, but if you're asking me, like I want to. That's why I say like I've never made a topper. But people have done it, so it can be done, but I've never done it. So, I did a full test on this and I was really really happy with it. Sabrina, is there any spray that can assist with keeping the ends from drying out on my longer wigs? I would say do you have the Renee Paris Revive spray or the Tressalore Dual Leave-In Conditioner? I have found those two. And also, how are you storing the wig? Just make sure if you're storing them to like make sure there's airflow in the, if it's a bag, box, whatever, just make sure there's airflow in there as well. Okay, Angie, I got your little spray. Do you have or have you tried either of those products? And the thing is like, especially, and I get what you're saying, because the longer ones that seems to happen more, don't wait until, like, don't use that spray every day, right? You don't need to do that. But the dual leave-in conditioner spray, that's also a brush out spray too. So once it repairs, I feel like don't wait until it's dry looking really bad either. Do you know what I'm saying? So do it a little preemptively. And Sabrina, when you do it, you don't need to spray the entire wig. You can just spot treat it. It's like, again, we wear it as hair, but it is fiber. So just spot treat it. And so my long wigs, what I've been doing with my long wigs, like my Belle Tress Dolce 23, the Paula Young braided wigs that were really, really long. I've been using that dual leave-in conditioner, and I've been using the air styler from Envy, and it's really, let me see if I have some photos I can show you. again, I record everything I do, so you'll see this coming up. But I've been using the, oh, this is a video I just did. So I use the dual leave-in conditioner, and then, okay, this is just me showing how to use it, yeah. And then I do this. My editor is so funny. Then I use the air styler from Envy. And you see how nice that looks? Look at that. Yeah, Peerless 22. So I'm using it in all of these. And then it just makes it smooth out just like that. So that's what I would say. I'm getting the comment section back up. Yeah, so these are the same fibers. We're talking about the same type of wigs and the same length. So yeah, that's what I do. That video is ready to be posted, so I will try to get that up sooner rather than later. So yeah, any other questions? We got to a lot. This next one is a little bit longer, so I think I'll do that for the next time. I don't use Simply Styling. I don't like silicone sprays like that because I feel like you can overspray, but a lot of people do like it. You know, I just don't like those silicone shine sprays. I literally have videos where I was ready to go out. I used a little bit on the ends and I used too much. I just feel like there's a learning curve to it. And what I found is a lot of people who are wearing wigs are not really that great at styling to begin with because they didn't style their bio hair. So to expect them to not only understand and know products and styling and everything in general and then apply it to synthetic, like, I just think the least invasive, the simplest is better. But a lot of people like that spray, Jody. So I feel like if you use it and it works well, it's just not a spray that I personally use because I have used too much and then it's like a big to-do. Okay, that's what I have for you for this Q&A. I hope you like these. I have been doing them twice a month now. I kind of like it better just doing it twice a month, you know, on the weeks that I don't have the live sale. There's so many, as you can see, and I have way more than this. There's so many people that, and I copy and paste your questions from either like videos, the group. Anytime I see a question I think is good. Oh, I'm so glad you were here, Sabrina. I copy and paste the questions, so I really think I'll probably continue to do this like twice a month. So every week we have a live sale on Fridays. Every other week we have the live sale on Wednesdays, and then on the opposite weeks I'll do the Q&A. Let me get my glasses. Miss Jamie says, thank you, you're the best. And yes, I'll make sure to put those videos up for you, Jamie. Catherine, did you mention the wig that you're wearing? Yes, this is the Tress feathered bob. And I got more of these in. So I got more of these fancy clips in. And I love these flat claw clips. And so literally all I did was this. Like, I love these claw clips so much. I just went like this. Put the flat claw clip in. Boom shakalaka. And she's looking cute. And that's it. So, Angie says, thank you. Aw, you're welcome. Yeah, that's what I have. Yeah, I have to. Well, I keep my ears out on purpose because I'm hard of hearing. I'm deaf in one ear. So I do this on purpose because if not, I can't hear. But okay, thank you for spending a little time with me. I will see you on Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have a really fun sale for Friday. I'm excited. And I have so many new accessories, so many cute spring accessories, and I cannot wait. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do. We're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers. Oops, we got a real, let me get you scoops. I get a question. So I bought a Gabor wig that I like, but the lace in the front raises when I run my fingers. Does that mean that all will fit that way? I can't say that is it a brand new wig? First of all, is it brand new? I can't say that they will all fit that way. I carry 37 brands, and I have not found one brand that's super consistent from not only style to style, but even within their own line. So it could be that it's not adjusted. Are you using a wig grip? A wig grip can help it. I have sort of a average petite head, so sometimes I find if it's a little too big and it lifts. Marty, I believe so. Did you check your email? So you're using a wig grip. I find that if it's lifting a little bit, so no, not all the Gabor wigs are going to fit that way. But if it's kind of big, you're going to want to like measure your head. I have a video on my channel. You can just search Tia Maria measure. It's also on my website in the blog. You can search measure yourself and find out. I wouldn't be surprised if you're maybe more of a petite. And so lifting is going to be an issue. But you can also use wig tape, which is a double-sided wig tape where you just put it like right here. Like say this was lifting, you just put it right here and stick it down. And then it's easy to take up. It doesn't hurt your lace. So I would try using that. I mean, frankly, double-sided wig tape is like, what's that called? What's that tape you use sometimes, like if you have like a little bralette that you need to tape down? It's called, I don't want to say cosmetic tape, but you know what I'm saying. You can get it like at Walmart in the lingerie section too. It's the same tape. So yeah, those are some. If you want me to answer more of that, just email me at Tia Maria Wigs. I should be wearing my glasses. And I will, I'll go through that again for you. I'll check on that, Marty. I caught the end. We'll watch a replay. Thank you, guys. I will talk to you soon. Bye.